Hello, Miss Smith. It's Kathleen. The nurse asked me to come in and get your weight, okay? We're going to get started with that procedure in just a moment. One of the things you want to remember and really understand is how to actually record a weight when you're using the stand-up scale. One of the things you want to notice that down here at the bottom you have your base weight 0 to 300. You're going to add that to your top weight up here, which goes from 0 to 50. The even numbers are on here for you. However, the odd numbers are not. So you want to make sure that you're able to read this. It starts off with 0 and then it goes in quarters, 1/4, 1/2, 3/4, and the 1 is understood. And then from there is 1/4, 1 1/2, 1 3/4, and then the 2 is here. You'll just add these two numbers together, okay? You also want to make sure when you're getting a weight that this balancer is centered, okay? So when you're done with getting that person's weight, this should be centered right here. And that's how you'll know that you have the person's weight, and you'll add those numbers. We're going to start the procedure at this time so you can see exactly how that's done. Miss Smith, what I need you to do, if you would, sit on the side of the bed for me. With this skill, you want to make sure that your patient has on shoes or some type of non-skid footwear, okay? Very important when you walk anyone over to the scale that they have something on their feet that has a non-skid bottom, okay? Is that comfortable for you? Okay. Okay. Make sure your feet are flat on the floor for me. Good. All right, now we're going to walk over to the scale. All right. And I just want you to stand right there in front of the scale for me. Don't step up yet. Prior to having your patient stand up on the scale, you want to zero out your scale. So you want to make sure you bring both balancers to 0 prior to standing them on the scale. Now at this time, if you would stand on the scale, you want to make sure that you're assisting them if they need that. Now we're going to start to get her weight. Now we're up on the scale, so you want to bring it from 0 to 100, and then you're just going to start moving the smaller balancer up here, a weight, until it starts to balance. And again, you're waiting to see that it gets centered. If it's too much, it's going to drop down. All you got to do is just back it up. Okay? And you just give it a few seconds to get balanced out. What you don't want is that touching top or bottom, and you just want it centered out. Okay? Once you've gotten that weight, you want to just add the bottom and the top. In this case, you see that it's 100 and it's 36.5. Okay?
Step off.
Okay, we're going to have her step off and you assist her. We're going to have her come back to her bed. You want to make sure your patient is safe prior to documenting or anything like that. All right, Miss Smith, if you'll just have a seat here. All right, and we're going to get you back in bed. Let's straighten up your pillow here. I apologize. Okay, let's take off your non-skid footwear. Of course, if you put shoes on them, you would take their shoes off. You can lay back in bed, Miss Smith. Okay. All right, you comfortable? All right, here's your call signal. Just give us a call if you need us, okay? Of course, the bed is in its lowest position because we did not raise it. At this point, you will wash your hands because you definitely want to make sure that you wash your hands prior to documenting, okay? Skill is now complete.